Round 11, the picturesque Cadwell Park in Lincolnshire, and the Ducati boys ain't going down without a fight. And when you're riding this close to the edge, sometimes you've got to pay the price.
Pole position, his third on the trot here at Cadwell Park. Jonathan Rea in second place, Tom Sykes third, Gregorio Lavia fourth. We've seen them on the front row. A lot of tension then across the front row of the grid, and we will be finding out who will benefit from most of that. So, will Haslam convert that pole position? Number 91 is Leon Haslam. Oh, a jump start surely from Gregorio Lavia. Lavia will get a 20-second penalty for a jump start. That is an absolute given nowadays. But it's Jonathan Rea who's made it work for the HM Blunt Honda. Up through the first section, through the corner at Coppice, and then on towards Charlie's now, the double right-hander at the top. A fantastic racetrack, a little bit narrow, a little bit dangerous, but really a great racetrack. And Jonathan Rea has got an absolute blast onto the park straight to the back there. Neil Mackenzie, what does that look like on a bank holiday Monday to you?
Fantastic, and all safe round Coppice and through Charlie's on the first lap.
Ooh, Camia!
Yeah, Camia's back on forward, but disaster for Gregorio Lavia. Rule changes middle of the year. If your front wheel is moving while a red light's on, you're in trouble. So Gregorio Lavia will be in the pit lane very soon. Camia's
just duffed up the series champion. Chianari has gone back a place. Camia went up to fourth place, and that was a great move from Leon Camia. Didn't want to lose the toe on his young rival in front of him. Here we are then. We've got the two Rizza Suzukis on board with Carl Harris, and we are going to see some air when we get to the mountain section here. That is for sure, because Carl Harris absolutely leaps up through the air into the bottom of the mountain and through the left-hander, lining up the right-hander on the gas now. Wait for it. There goes Carl Harris. He's like a 747. Incredible.
Bad start for Chris Walker. Not like Chris Walker to be that far back on lap one.
Through the hairpin, down towards Barn Corner. Jonathan Rea from Sykes, from Haslam, from that man. Camia on the bikeanimal.com Honda. Then it's Ryoichi Chianari. Then a little bit of a gap back to the jump starting Gregorio Lavia. Still waiting for it to come up on my screen here at the moment. They will be reviewing that in race direction.
Yeah, Jonathan Rea away at the front there, but look at Tom Sykes. Tom Sykes, the man on form the last couple of races, couple of podiums at Croft. Tom Sykes wants to win one.
Oh, disaster there for Marty Nutt. The Ulsterman has gone down already. So Marty Nutt.
That looks like the exit of Barn, the last corner.
That's a hell of a, you know that very well, don't you?
I've been down there a few times, I know it.
Me too. Oh no, it's always run off at Hall, coming down into the braking area of the hairpin.
Very
How
unusual
odd is that?
there. Very unusual. He looked like he went straight over there.
There's Gregorio Lavia, and he has indeed been given a 20-second penalty for a jump start. There it was. Well, the rules were clarified earlier in the year. Of course, there was a little bit of contention when Jamie Robinson was given a penalty, but a rider subsequently, Ian Hutchinson, wasn't at Alton Park, and they brought in a whole new system here for monitoring jump starts. And the fact of the matter is now, once the red lights are on, if you move, you get a penalty. Lap 4 of 18, Rea leads, extending his lead. Chianari still trying to make up that place from 5th place. I think he's going to have a bit of a problem with these three in between him, though. Young chargers, they all... Oh, down has gone Carl Harris, number 5. Carl Harris down on the deck on the Hydrex Honda. Oh, that's a disappointment. I was really looking forward to seeing something good from Carl this weekend.
Yeah, real riders track here at Cadwell Park, and Carl Harris is a real rider. Really unfortunate. Carl Harris out there on the Hydrex Honda, still behind Walker there. Just looked like he either low-sided or lost the front.
Just wiped out at Charlie's corner, that double right-hander. I think he might have hurt his arm there, you know. He's holding it just a bit. The thing is with Carl, he's the toughest man you're ever likely to meet in the paddock. But he's got a long walk from there as well. It's quite difficult to get back to the paddock from that particular point. 9, that's how they were last time round.
So Gregorio Lavia will be aware of that time penalty, but fortunately he doesn't have to come in. He doesn't have to do the ride-through penalty. Keeps things safe here at this Cadwell Park circuit.
I think I would actually rather come through and have a ride-through, because Cadwell Park, you could actually get an advantage coming down pit lane, I think. Here it's so short and so little, so I don't know. It's a real shame, but 20 seconds is a big penalty here.
Look at that, Haslam past Tom Sykes into Park.
And he's made it stick as far as Chris Curve is concerned. This long right-hander where you're powering all the way through, you never get it back on the straight. Suddenly you're on the brakes into the gooseneck, this is called, through the right and the left. Then it drops away down towards Mansfield Corner. A hugely difficult section if you haven't got a motorcycle that's sticking to the track. Sorry.
Airways Ducati. These Ducatis, I reckon, are the bike round here. Traction control comes into its own round here, and just a little bit less power than the 4-cylinder Japanese bikes, and I think at this circuit that's not a bad thing.
In front of a huge crowd, a little bit of air there from Shane Byrne. I was watching him coming over the mountain this morning in warm-up, and it was absolutely scary. I don't know who he was doing it for, but certainly we got some great pictures of him. He must have been airborne by about 1.5 foot.
And these bikes don't like to jump. They don't enjoy jumping.
Out of barn, onto the front straight then. The leader's already on lap 9 of 18. Let's take a look then for the Cup. James Buckingham leads the Superbike Cup at the moment from Tristan Palmer and Tom Tunstall. That's how the Cup boys are at the minute. But look at this. Well, the predictions of Neil McKenzie. Well, it was hardly a prediction, I suppose. He almost knew it was a fact that Haslam would be on with a chance of taking Jonathan Rea. But, of course, catching him and passing him, it's easy to say.
I think just that lack of horsepower, or that horsepower disadvantage, is the one track that works well for the Ducatis. It's smoother, it delivers the power better. Fantastic Magneti Marelli electronics on that Ducati, and at the moment the Dunlop tyres looking like they're certainly a match for the Michelins.
That's what it's going to be about, isn't it? But it's going to be about tyre degradation later in this race. Of course, we're only at half distance, just over. Leon Haslam, we're on forward, looking at the rear end of Jonathan Rea. Jonathan Rea trying to prise his plans out of him earlier on in the day. For next year, he has to make a decision by 12 o'clock tonight. Cadwell Park Bank Holiday Monday on his Honda ride. Tonight is the deadline. Camia is a new lap record holder. That's Ollie, of course, partner 2. Leon Haslam in second place, but Camia all eyes on the number 2 bike. The fastest superbike ever, the fastest motorbike ever, around Cadwell Park at 1:26.9.
Oh, Haslam came from a long way back there, but he still parked it, still stopped it, still turned.
Well, I'll tell you what, after what happened there in 2005 when he took his teammate Gregorio Lavia off at Park Corner, obviously it holds no ghost for Haslam.
Decided to conveniently blank that out of his memory, but he came from a long way back there on the brakes. Really confident pass. The front end of that Airways Ducati obviously planted. He was able to turn it, didn't lose any time at all.
A little bit of a bobble there at Mansfield, I thought, as he dropped down in there. So Haslam just got to regain that little bit of composure, perhaps, after making that pass. Now he's got to settle into a rhythm out front. That's what it's going to be all about.
He's confident, though. He's very confident. He uses every inch of the track here. Oh. Look how wide he goes here, right on the paint. Whoa, that's... Look at Jonathan Rea jumping that. Brilliant.
I'll tell you what, I'd like to see that again, because the pair of them off the air, that was in the air, I should say, absolutely brilliant. Both these young men. Well, what a trio of youngsters we've got here, haven't we? Great. 2 20-year-olds chasing a 24-year-old. Here he goes. Let's take another look at it. Look at that. Well, I'll tell you.
This could be the Motocross World Championship at Donington Park yesterday.
Yeah, it could be, but for my money, it's a lot more exciting. Lap 11 of 18, through Charlie's corner, onto the Park corner. Park straight, sorry, Park corner comes later. Well, he might have thought he might have been able to make a break on Jonathan Rea, but he hasn't, and Rea's coming back. Here comes Jonathan Rea on Park straight. Backs it into Park corner, but Haslam's Ducati looks that little bit better in the braking area.
He certainly does. Jonathan Rea using all his motocross skills over the mountain and his supermoto skills backing in there to Park. Jonathan Rea's not letting go. He's not cutting him any slack at this point.
Not bad with his road racing skills either, really, is he? He's got it covered, Jonathan.
He's got the trio, hasn't he?
Wow. This is the future of British motorcycling you're seeing out the front at the moment here. Tom Sykes can be included in that. Camia forces his way. Oh, Camia lands on Johnny Rea. Unbelievable. Camia goes for the place, lands right on Jonathan Rea. And that is a big mistake from Leon Camia. And Jonathan Rea, that has cost him dearly on a day when Ryuichi Kiyanari was down in 5th place. Oh, dear me. Camia goes through. It looked like it was only going to cost Camia. And then Camia lands on the rear of Jonathan Rea's motorbike and takes the Ulsterman out of Cadwell Park round 1. Unbelievably unlucky Jonathan Rea. Had done it all absolutely right. Leon Camia, well, he's going to go and bury his head now, really. You've got to feel sorry for him, but it was his mistake.
He went in there hot. It was actually looking like they might both get away with it at one point, and certainly Jonathan Rea looked like he'd got away with it. But as you said, Leon Cammy just landing on the back of Ray's bike and down the wet. That kind of equals the Pedrosa Hayden incident in Portugal a couple of years ago.
You can go back over so many years where that has happened at many a racetrack. It was an opportunity, half an opportunity. Leon Cammy, being a youngster, was determined to try and make it his best result for some time in Superbikes.
Jonathan Ray back on track though.
Well, he's got some work to do. He's behind Michael Rutter there on the Isilon MSS Kawasaki, so he's up there somewhere in the points, that's for sure.
10th position.
10th position, oh no, it might be higher than that, you know. I think, yeah, he is 10th position, just behind Rutter. You're right. If all else fails, I'll look at the monitor, shall I?
Like me. What a recovery, though. He's still going to be top 10, which...
damage limitation.
Points make prizes. Leon Haslam, he's off the hook.
What a great result as far as the championship is concerned. Haslam closes in on the championship leaders. Of course, this is a favourite racetrack for track days. You can get up here and have a ride round some of this racetrack, of course. And from my club days, really enjoyed the amount of track time we spent here. Track hasn't really changed that much. They put a chicane in there, and just to slow it down coming into the bottom of the mountain, of course. But everywhere else, with the exception of a little bit of resurfacing, is exactly the same, Neil.
It certainly is, which is a good thing.
Ray has gone down again. Jonathan Ray has gone down for a second time, this time surely all on his own. Well, the fans appreciate his brave effort. Ray crashes out of 8th place. The penultimate lap, lap 17 of 18. Haslam is a full 3.5 seconds out front of these two, but it's all going to be about, in the next lap and 3/4, what can Chianari do with young Tom Sykes?
He looks like he's got something left, certainly in rear, as far as rear end grip goes. This could be it. He got a good drive there out of Charlie's. Can he do on with the brakes? Tom Sykes is strong on the brakes. He's not going to give in. He's not going to give in.
Oh,
he's having to.
He's having to give in, but can Chianari pull it back down, or will Sykes get good drive up the inside? No.
Yeah.
Chianari has got that sorted. I'll tell you what, though, for a full factory bike, the HM Plant Honda, just a tad, and it is only a tad. It might have been just the fact that he got a little bit more grip out of the corner onto that straight, but I can't see much between these two motorbikes.
Well, it may well be Tom Sykes can have a look at Chianari, but I don't think he has the traction. I don't think he has the grip at this point of the race.
Through the chicane then. Haslam, 3.5 seconds out front. He's already heading round to the mountain and up and over the mountain. There he goes through your picture before these two get to the bottom of the mountain. Little bit of air for Chianari. Here's your race leader at the hairpin for the last time, down towards Barnes for the last time. Leon Haslam has converted that pole position, looks over his shoulder. Where have they all gone? Haslam takes the checkered flag for the first time today. It will be Ryoichi Chianari taking 20 points. As congratulations from Colin Wright, team leader, to Daryl Healy, team owner, and Phil Plater from Dunlop. As over the line comes Shane Byrne in front of Lavia. And I'll tell you what, Shane Byrne is happy to beat Lavia, but I don't think he knows that he's got a 20, or Lavia has got a 20-second penalty. Lavia, though, magnificently gets 7th place and rescues some great points after that 20-second penalty. A green flag then at the back of the grid. This is a big race, the big race of the day, in my opinion. The second Bennett's British Superbike race. Can that man there, Leon Haslam, make it a double today and ruin HM Plant Honda's plans? Oh, not if he gets a start like that, he can't. Another great start from Jonathan Ray, and also his teammate this time round, number 1, Ryoichi Chianari. Chianari in race 1, of course, if you remember, got himself stuck in about 5th or 6th place, and that's a much better start, but straight up the order there. Looks like Malcolm Ashley has gone for a long route round. Well, maybe he's going to shortcut it down to the chicane on the other side of the track and rejoin at the back. Who knows? I always fancy doing a marathon like that, Neil Mackenzie.
Yeah, look at Haslam down the inside already.
Runs wide, though. Runs really wide and loses 2 places, 3 places. One more to his teammate. No, not quite. Wow, dear, oh dear, oh dear. Leon Haslam a little bit impetuous perhaps on his opening lap.
Perhaps, but I know what he was thinking. He was thinking, I cannot let Ryoichi Chianari go away. This is when he's at his strongest, when he gets a good start. Fantastic start for Chianari off the second row of the grid. There goes Haslam underneath him, but out wide. Fortunately not onto the grass. Keeps it all upright. Managed
to chop the nose off of Lavia, though, as he came down into Chris Curve. There is the luckless Lavia at the moment. 20-second penalty he got for the start in race 1. No such jump start this time round. Oh, Johnny Ray flying through the air. Does he want this or what? Of course, Jonathan Ray thwarted in his efforts by Leon Camia, his teammate in inverted commas, in race 1 when he landed on his back at the chicane. Big problem for there. There's the 2 Rizla Suzuki's going through. HM Plant Honda's rule then from the 66. Eddie Stobart Vent Axia Honda of Tom Sykes on the grass. Oh, dear me.
Narrow this track is, and Tom Sykes needs to use every inch. Like you say, just kissing the grass there. He does it there, he also does it over the mountain, really wide, over the white line, touching the grass just as he peels in everywhere.
Big bump there into Charlie's. I've noticed that Jonathan Ray's bike seems to react to that bump on the way into Charlie's more than Ryoichi Kiyanari's. Just obviously a bit of an anomaly setup-wise. He's got his bike obviously how he wants it to work around this track, but I've noticed that before. It just seems to bump a little bit more than Kiyanari. Kiyanari's machine a little bit more settled on the track, it seems, at that point.
Yeah, Kiyanari always tends to turn his bike tighter, has a slightly faster, quicker steering setup, but Kiyanari on the rostrum after race one saying he must race win two.
Well,
You know he was serious.
This is a battle of the teammates. We've got HM Plant out front, then we've got the Airways Ducatis in the middle there, and a couple of Rizla Suzuki's a bit further back.
Everyone backed up there behind Chris Walker.
Oh, that's a shame there.
Guy Martin.
Guy Martin is out on the Hydrex Honda. So Guy Martin had a really successful Ulster Grand Prix just a week ago. Guy Martin, I think this is his last Superbike ride of the year as well. He will be doing, or Superbike as in British Superbike Championship ride. I think he's obviously got Scarborough coming up very soon where he's particularly good. Ray leads. Kiyanari second. Sykes still hanging on to them. The two Airways Ducatis at this point in the race, and it took a while for Haslam to pick up the pace relatively in the race, in race one.
Yeah, Jonathan Ray, you have to admire him. Taken out in race one and then got back on, then fell off again, and obviously very rattled, but come back out the box. Number 91 Haslam under investigation, possible technical problem.
Well, that'll be interesting. Maybe it's a technical problem that the traction control doesn't seem to be working anymore. It's about to launch him. There might have been something else that was causing him a little bit of lack of grip down the bottom of Mansfield then that we'll have to keep a bit of an eye out for now. Lap 7 of 18 into the chicane already. There is Ray, 4-1, Kiyanari, 66.
Can't see
Sykes,
anything.
there it is. Let's keep an eye on that motorbike, see if there's anything going wrong with it. Oh, over the hill, unbelievable. Well, I tell you, it's a sight, isn't it? Haslam the other side of the white line as he comes into Hall Bends. Can't see anything wrong with that bike. Certainly no lack of grip there, the way he's riding through Hall Bends.
Can't see any smoke or anything coming out.
No, I think they're going to be doing away with that investigation in a moment because that bike looks, apart from laying a lot of the rubber on the floor, which of course is allowed.
Now Jonathan Ray stuck in the fastest lap, 1:26.9941. So Jonathan Ray reacting at the front, under pressure from number 1, Ryoichi Kiyanari's teammate. This is a tyre battle now. This is who's got the best tyres in the second half of the race. The first two guys on Michelin's, everyone else behind them on Dunlops. Apart from Tommy Hill, of course, in 9th position.
Camia again! Camia has gone down again!
That's a safety car.
BikeAnimal.com, and that is going to be a safety car because that machine is in the middle there. Leon Camia has taken 2 big beatings today. One with Carla in race 1 with Jonathan Ray. Oh, I tell you what, Kawasaki, that's Javier Beltran, the team manager of BikeAnimal.com, that definitely we are going to have a safety car out there now. A Marshall, and that might seem like a dangerous place for that Marshall to stand, but he's picking out that motorcycle. Oh, dear me, right in the middle of that rise over the mountain. Been there, done that, no it hurts. So, Leon Camia finds himself in all sorts of trouble, and we can only watch on at the moment. He's been stretchered off. Seems like there is a safety car out, or it's been prepared. Let's take another look at it, Neil. I mean, it's just a lack of traction as he asks for the power over the hill, isn't it?
Accelerating uphill, suspension compresses, extends, lands on the back wheel at a bit of an angle, and that's how close these guys are every single lap to disaster.
Well, he does have body armour, of course, in his leathers to protect him from impact.
Big impact on his right shoulder.
Yeah, that was a big impact. Harvey Beltran then off to the medical centre now. They will know that it's coming out. There will be a board with a safety card on it. They'll form up behind the safety car. Well, I've got to say, they look to me like they're pretty well flat out through here, so where is the safety car? Still on race pace, there's no doubt about that. So no safety car as far as we can see as it is at the moment. No safety car, despite the fact it says one on our monitor, unless it's around the track that they're going to pick up from behind. Yes, it is. There it goes. So Jonathan Ray's picked it up now. And we lost track of it for a moment or two, but it's at the end of the park straight. There will now be flags out with an SC with a a flag that tells them exactly what's going on, and they'll all form up now behind the safety car while any treatment that Leon Camier needs. The lights are out on the safety car. Jonathan Ray is now in possession of the restart in as such, because as the safety car comes in now, lights are off. It'll be Jonathan Ray that relaunches. He mustn't pass the safety car though before it comes in. It is in, and no one else can make a pass until they get to the start and finish line. Otherwise they'll get penalised. Jonathan Ray, he's had a lap to them for those tyres to cool down a little bit, and that sometimes can be an issue, particularly on the left-hand side of the tyre.
Jonathan Ray certainly timed that right.
Yeah. Great restart. Ray, Chianari, Sykes, Haslam, Lavia, Byrne, Crutchlow, Hill, Walker and Rutter. That's your top 10.
Haslam down the inside of Sykes. Does he keep it tight? Does he
And
make
wide
it? Save again. Save again. He's on the grass.
Oh, that's cost him very dearly now. Well, Colin Wright is going to kick him in the pants for that. Lap 13 of 18. Again, an impetuous move early on in the restart. It's one of those situations where Leon wants to do more than the motorcycle wants him to do at that particular point.
In our case, it's a guess of he who dares wins. He knows he can't let them get away. He has to try and capitalise on that safety car being out, but a bit of misjudgment on both occasions.
Yeah, but both HM Plant Hondas out front in a 25 and 20 point respectively winning position, and he's down here now. You know, just a disaster for him. 2/3 distance we're out at the moment.
Yeah, it's safe to say it's all over now for Leon.
If we get another safety car, they will extend this race. It might be the only time that Leon Haslam wants the safety car out, so he gets an opportunity to get back on the rear end of these leading riders. Through Chris Curve. Onto the gooseneck. There is Leon Haslam. He will be so mad with himself. He wants this so much, this championship. Leon Haslam is he's talented, he's young, he's looking forward to moving to MotoGP. He wants to do MotoGP at any cost. And I think really that frustration of wanting to win this British Championship just sometimes sets in and just overrides all other factors. And here at Cadwell Park, pole position, won race 1, he knew he could win race 2. And just a little bit impetuous in my view, and that is a younger man type situation. You know, that corner, Park Corner, has been his nemesis so many times.
It certainly has. Right on Crutchlow.
Right on Cal Crutchlow, yeah, he should be able to muscle his way past Cal. Cal looks like he's fighting a motorcycle that's not quite as good as some of the others. Chris Walker, Cal Crutchlow's teammate, down in 9th place at the moment. And you would expect Walker to be perhaps at least on the pace of Cal Crutchlow. I think it just indicates how good Cal is riding that thing at the moment round here.
Cal doing a good job. Cal good at Croft, good here at Cadwell.
Tristan Palmer leads the Superbike Cup from James Buckingham and Tom Tunstall. That's how the prize is.
Past
And gone straight on. That has wrecked Tom Sykes' best ever finisher of a Superbike, British Superbike race. Straight on a park. Just that corner just sucks you in. I think it's also because it's one of the safest corners on the track to actually make a pass. It's a bit over extravagant.
When you're entering that corner, it always looks like you can make the pass and still make it, but it tightens up so much. A little bit off camber in the middle.
And off he goes.
Lucky. Nice dry sunny weather, then the grass is nice and dry otherwise.
But that's really wrecked his chances as well. So Haslam and Sykes, well, not enjoying Park Corner today. 17 of 18. Oh, down has gone.
Shaky.
Shaky, it is, it's shaky. Shane Byrne, number 67, Shane Shaky Byrne. I didn't quite pick up where we were on the track then. So Shane Byrne has gone down. What a nightmare for Paul Byrne Motorsport. Stobart Ben Axe here at the moment. They were heading for second place in the race today with Tom Sykes. He goes straight on a park, and Shane Shaky Byrne jumps off of 5th place. And that's the same as Camier, only not quite as nasty. Same as Camier, dumps him onto the tarmac. He will be okay, shaken, not stirred. Look at that, right in front of Leon Haslam and Cal Crutchlow. And there is Tom Sykes' teammate just drifting by, having taken to the grass. We're on the last lap. Drama in Lincolnshire.
Levia's thinking about a pass on Shuichi Chianari.
And he might well get it through Chris Curve. Where's number 1 gone?
Haslam.
Haslam has gone down. Leon Haslam has gone down as well. That is Leon Haslam out of 4th place. What a disaster in the closing stages here, the final lap of the race. And that's at Park. He's coming into Park Corner again. Loses the front end. Well, he won't ever want to come back to Cadwell Park until they get rid of that turn. Incredible stuff. Haslam runs round to try and pick the bike up. Marshall's help him.
Nightmare corner.
Number 1, Ryoichi Kianari under attack from the Spaniard.
It's only the hairpin. I'm not sure he can do it.
So Ray, Kianari, Lavia, and now Crutchlow. There is Jonathan Ray, your race leader. Down towards Barr for the last time. You're the only man that can relax round here, Jonathan. Onto Barn, onto the front straight. Big wheelie, sure. No, he's going to do a Superman instead. Over the line. Oh, watch out, because here comes Keogh closing. Lavia gets third. Crutchlow fourth. Well, good ride from Cal Crutchlow, got to say. Sykes comes through. Well, there is Leon Haslam, and I would think he'll want to go straight into his car and straight home. Just how unhappy will he be? Absolutely perfect this week so far. Looked dominant throughout practice and qualifying. Pole position, won race 1 with a good, intelligent ride. Race 2, well, I don't know what he had for lunch, but I wouldn't have it again. Well, we hoped we wouldn't need the helicopter today. It's been parked all day long, but this is the ride that Leon Camier has out of Cadwell Park. It's a great view, but not one I think he'll be taking at the moment. He has a leg injury, and this is the best way to get him as fast as we can to hospital. It's obviously not life-threatening, but certainly he needs attention. So we'll see you again very soon, Leon Camier.